So today we're reviewing the XP22 Scorpion Tactical Light. This is a rechargeable rail-mounted light. I purchased it because I had a little bit of an interest in a design that would be a little outside of the box. I also wanted to see how durable this light happened to be when I came upon it on Amazon. It seems to be pretty comparable to other lights at the same price, which is something I was going for. I previously owned an Odin Mini and also a Streamlight ProTac. Since they also had rechargeable options, I wanted to check this one out. This design has two lamps. It was a little confusing at first because I wasn't quite sure what benefit this would have, but it seems to have a pretty good throw. It does give off more of a white light than what the Odin Mini does. That one seems to have more of a warmish color, but this one here, it's a little bit confusing for me. So the biggest thing that I took away from this was it seemed like it might be something that would be good for a weapon that has a A2 fixed front sight, just because the dual heads are separated. I'm not sure, again, what the benefit of that was, or if it was just supposed to be something that was just a little bit different. One of the cool things that I saw on this was, and I'll go ahead and unscrew this just to give you a little bit of an example. So it seems like it would be a little bit moisture protected, a little bit resistant to maybe getting some beading inside of the lens. If you look inside here, you can see a O-ring that kind of goes around the face of it and kind of seals off the front. But what I did notice was missing on both sides was at the base of where the lens cap screws on. So if you did happen to submerge this, while you wouldn't get water coming in the front, it might come in the back. I don't plan on dunking this thing in water. I don't really plan on dunking anything in water, but we never know what might happen. If you're out in the woods hunting, or if this is something that you're using for self-defense and you're running away from a situation and you happen to trip and fall into a puddle or what have you, you might run into getting a little bit of moisture in there. This might be something that would be good for, I don't know, a second revision, maybe just something to add to it. One of the other things that I thought was really cool about this was it did have a little press to fit for the rail mount. Something that I think might be a little bit better, and this will kind of tie into what I am going to talk about in charging in a little bit, is while this is very slimline, I would like to see it maybe a little bit bulkier, just so you know more about that it's there, as well as maybe get something similar to like what the Hollow Sun has. Get a very slim, short locking lever. You could pop it on and off pretty quick and pretty easy. This does just twist on to tighten. You can press it and it will release on the rails. To the point of charging, this was really the only big gripe that I had with this light, was the mounting pad is not, there's just not a lot to grab onto. The positioning is good, just because you don't have to remove the light to be able to charge it like you do some other lights. This O-Light in particular, you don't have to remove it to charge it. You just remove the cap and pop it on there. But the mounting pad is definitely a little bit larger, so you get a lot to really grip onto, whereas this one here, there's not a lot on there. It is a pretty strong magnetic connection, but if you're resting it on something, or if you're plugged in at a weird angle, you got kinks in the line, like this is a brand new cord, so you do have those coil kinks in there. You're not getting the best connection there, and you might lose out on some of that charging time. You might set it overnight, think you charged it, but you didn't. But yeah, I'd like to see it with a locking lever similar to this Hollow Sun. If it had that locking lever, you could still quickly remove it, quickly put it back on, but have that larger mounting surface here with a larger pad to grab onto it. So, well, again, that was really my only gripe, but we'll move on from that. So This is actuated with a button in the tail. So you press it once and hold it. You can tap it on, tap it off. You did give it a quick double tap, and that gets your strobe mode. Pretty nice placement for it if you have it mounted on the side, on a side rail. If you're running quad rail, you can kind of actuate that with your thumb. If you give it the clamp grip, you can go ahead and grab it from the back, not a problem. So as far as the throw goes, I would say it's pretty good. It's pretty accurate. This thing claims 260 meter distance. I really don't have a way of measuring that, but it did seem to throw pretty far out in the backyard. Claims 1300 lumens. Don't really have anything to measure that as well, but it was very comparable to my Odin Mini, which I believe was 1100. Not really noticing a huge difference once you get past 800, at least for me, not in my eyes. Anything outside, if you're getting blasted with 300 or more, you're pretty toast in the eyes. You're not going to be seeing much for a minute. So I'll go ahead and cut ahead to just some field footage shining this bad boy in the back. So there's our beam. That's our 260 meters. Let's go ahead and see what strobe looks like. Pretty quick. So we'll go ahead and move to our final thoughts. Overall, I think this is a pretty high value light. It seems to be built pretty sturdy. I did drop it when I opened it right out of the box, which is pretty unfortunate, right on the basement concrete. But it didn't seem to take any damage, so it seems like this has pretty solid coating on it. Didn't chip, didn't mar, didn't dent. I didn't drop it from very, very high location anyway, but it's just kind of good to see that it's not just crap. It does seem to be pretty sturdy, which is definitely something that I was looking for out of this light. Is something that I expected at the price point. It does run you right around 110 bucks, depending on if you have like a 5% or 10% off coupon that you typically will see on Amazon. Haven't seen one of those come through yet, but they're pretty frequent, so watch out for those. In this price point, I do feel like it makes it a pretty good competitor for its class. I wouldn't claim my critiques as negatives for this thing, or reasons not to purchase, but rather just maybe enhancement suggestions that would definitely be good to see in future revisions, or different models in different light types from this company, whether it's rail mounted, some form of M-LOK. M-LOK would be great to see something come out of this company for. Yeah, so if you're looking for a good light at a good price point, something that is definitely budget friendly, not going to kill the pocketbook, but you're going to get some decent performance out of, something you could expect to take out into the woods, take on a hunting trip, maybe go to an airsoft event or something like that, this is definitely something that's going to be for you. Thanks.